Due to the recent economic downturn, many businesses and restaurants along the Strip are losing business. Some are struggling to stay afloat, while others, like the Chili's behind me, have closed their doors for good. UT police have been investigating the recent vandalisms of the Europa and the Bull sculpture. Placed on the Humanities Plaza in 1968, the sculpture has been vandalized multiple times by unknown assailants in the past 3 months. Traffic cones and detour signs block Philip Former Way as construction takes place on Neyland Stadium. While the renovations to beautify the stadium will be visually appealing, many are asking if the construction will be hazardous to students. While minority students may often feel isolated during their time at UT, there are numerous outlets for them to feel welcome and connected on campus. The Black Cultural Center is one place which serves to bridge the gap between minority students and the rest of campus. Campus safety is one of the main focuses here at UT. For emergency situations, more than 100 blue light phones, like this one, have been placed over campus. Students can be connected with police or transportation with the push of a button. But in emergency situations, how fast is the response? Campus parking has been a hot button issue at the University of Tennessee for many years. There's much overcrowding and very few student lots available. For $250, students are able to purchase a parking pass, but even then, parking is not guaranteed. The harmony of R&B music fills the quiet home art studio of artist Lakeisha Moore. She uses this time prior to painting to gather supplies and prepare the color palette she needs to use for her paintings.
I started these smaller pieces because I wanted to have a little more something to hold and create more object-oriented pieces.
These pieces line windowsills and walls throughout the home, each one with distinct detail.
When I talk about layers, kind of reflects a little bit on about humanity and who we are as people, and there's so much that makes up who we are, and I think I try to let my paintings reflect a little bit of how we feel about ourselves.
Much of Moore's work seems abstract, yet some have realistic qualities. For each artist, however, the definition of art varies.
So my definition of art is anything that you do where you put your heart and soul into something, and where you just create, something sometimes out of nothing.
With just a few new colors and a little reworking, Moore transformed 3 older paintings into something new. She showed with passion and creativity that new ideas can be brought to existence. Jessica Trice, reporting for TNJN. The University of Tennessee is home to roughly 30,000 students. Of that number, minorities account only 15%. Due to the low number of minorities on campus, student Jessica Peterson has often experienced being misunderstood.
In the classrooms, when it's just you and like a classroom full of nobody like you, like certain people will ask you questions or professors will ask you questions and expect you to be like the voice of all black people. And I mean, it would just be my personal opinion. It wouldn't be the opinion of anybody else who looks like me.
Students may see the university's minority enrollment as low, but Eric Stokes, Assistant Director of Diversity Recruitment, sees it differently.
If you want to specifically talk about racial, ethnic diversity, then yeah, we don't have a large population, but like I said, about 15% is somewhat average in terms of schools our size.
While minority students may often feel isolated during their time at UT, there are numerous outlets for them to feel welcome and connected on campus. The Black Cultural Center is one place which serves to bridge the gap between minority students and the rest of campus. Stokes says it's up to minority students to get involved.
The university can provide 100 Black Cultural Centers, Hispanic Centers, International House. We can do all the recruitment programs, all the groups and services, but if students themselves don't take advantage of it, then, you know, it's for nothing.
Jessica agrees the student initiative is the only way for minorities to feel connected.
Like I mentioned earlier, I try to, be in diverse types of things on campus. I joined the diversity leadership group, and I try to go to different events around campus that I wouldn't normally go to, and try to meet different people that I wouldn't normally talk to. And so I can make myself more comfortable around different people who aren't necessarily like me or who don't act like me.
At the university, minority students will often experience being in a room with nobody who looks like them. But by simply taking advantage of programs that are offered, they can gain a whirlwind of experiences. Jessica Trice, reporting for TNJN. Parents, children, and volunteers came to have a day of fun with a variety of activities. But the main cause of the crowd was in support of the Down Syndrome Awareness Group's 13th annual Buddy Walk.
We're just one of about 250 Buddy Walks that will take place this year, raising money for Down syndrome awareness.
Children had the opportunity to make arts and crafts and have frozen treats. For some, this was a new experience.
I've had to get up to speed really quick, having a child with special needs. But they're just as much a part of society.
McDonald led walkers around the block. Families wore t-shirts, while others carried banners in support of those they knew with Down syndrome.
You know, as a new parent, when this happens to you, it's sort of a shock. And by the involvement of the Down Syndrome Buddy Walk and the organization, they help the parents out understand what to expect and things like this. And so it's just part of it. We really enjoy it.
The Buddy Walk showed that big or small, we can all make a difference. Jessica Trice, reporting for TNJN.